The Tommy Campbell Show. Donald Trump has botched yet another Medal of Honor ceremony. It wasn't long ago that this fella had to endure Trump strangling him with the top award. You ever hear of a rehearsal, a dry run? But Trump just goes all in like he's getting Ted Cruz's wife ready for a walk. How can you see this and think nailed it? And then when the opportunity comes up for another round of honors, nobody sits down Cadet Bone Spurs and says, look, this is super important. Here's how you do a clasp. Well, this is how it went down when he tried to get the Medal of Honor on Major Nicholas Dockery. The clip had no audio, so I did my best to lip read and dub it for accuracy.
Okay. Hold your breath. You know, this would look so hot on Ivanka. Anyone have the manual?
He's just trying to endure Trump's stupidity and scent here.
Were you captured like John McCain? I prefer John McClane, I do. You ever see Under Siege? Die Hard on a boat with Erica Eleniak jumping out of a cake totally nude. I didn't get that on my birthday. The clasp is fake news made in China junk. Like all the shoes, watches, and other junk I sell MAGA every week.
Those are the real losers and suckers, sir, not us.
Give it back.
You think the Bone Spurs, sir, everybody
You know I
knows it.
deserve it more, right? Under Siege, it's probably a training video in the Navy or Army, whatever you are.
Yeah, give yourself a round of applause for that one, moron. The guy that boasts about cognitive tests literally gave up on the operational mechanics of a metal hook and struggled with his own makeshift fabric fastening. You'd think after 3 marriages, it'd be a little easier for him to tie the knot. This is the man who wants you to trust him with the nuclear codes, and he can be completely immobilized by a standard necklace chain. If you ever want to infiltrate the executive branch, don't bring weapons, just lock the doors with a basic safety pin. He'd be trapped in the Oval Office for days.
Subscribe.
Now some may say, hey, he just got back from the G7, give him a break. Maybe he just struggles with tiny clasps. I mean, come on. This is the same administration that looked at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool and said, let's treat this like a golf course hot tub. Trump couldn't figure out how to correctly secure a ribbon on a body, and he certainly couldn't figure out how to manage the massive body of water he boasted he would fix. So naturally, his administration handed out a $14 million no-bid contract to a company that previously worked on one of his golf course pools to paint the entire bottom a deep custom American flag blue that was such an unnatural blue. It looked like they gotten their supplies from the makeup trailer from a Kevin Sorbo knockoff of Avatar. We shouldn't be shocked. The same people that don't believe in climate change raw dogged the eclipse and doged everything from Ebola defense to screwworm prevention aren't the kind of folks to trust the science, because this administration ignored basic biology. When it came to filling it up, he didn't have industrial hose pipes or water trucks. No, he refilled it with untreated river water, and that dark blue alien skin floor was a magnet for the June sun, spiking the water temperature and creating a hyper-accelerated greenhouse for slime. It didn't just turn green, it looks like Shrek spent the week using the National Mall as a urinal. This is a systemic top-to-bottom aversion to foundational education. Just look at Trump's staunch ally Byron Donalds giving a major campaign speech this week. Listen to the sheer gravity in his voice as he lectures the public on literacy benchmarks.
Our kids have to be prepared to hit the ground running on day one. And being able to master reading is at the core of that. Our state will refocus our efforts into that. We have seen what's occurred in the state of Mississippi. They call it the Mississippi Miracle. But when it comes to ed reform, Florida has led the way over the last 30 years. And we're going to continue to lead the way into the future. God bless you, and thank you all.
He is delivering a sermon on literacy while standing directly behind a sign that looks like it was proofread by a blender. Achievability, with a giant useless extra E slammed right in the center of it. You cannot write ironies this pure. The folks on Team Trump can't even open a blank document and run a basic spell check before printing a campaign sign. How on earth can we expect them to successfully manage a 6 million gallon ecosystem? So who did they handpick to preserve a century-old national landmark? a company called Atlantic Industrial Coatings. They aren't historical monument specialists. They are literally the contractors who previously resurfaced a swimming pool at one of Donald Trump's private golf clubs. Because of course, why hire engineers who understand the complex ecosystem of the National Mall when you can just call up the guys who did the lighting for the deep end at Bedminster? He treated the most iconic historic water feature in America like a commercial water park installation. And now, not only do you have the algae bloom, you have layers of paint floating the top because it didn't get enough time to set correctly. And the solution is peak comedy. If you walk past the Lincoln Memorial right now, it's hard to do any reflection over the sound of generators, and the entire thing is a swamp. You have workers in rubber boots using literal living room carpet vacuums to suck up clumps of dead sludge.
I'm here at the newly renovated reflecting pool. It's painted American flag blue. And the Democrats are going to tell you, oh, there's green algae, it looks so bad, but there's pool guys cleaning it up right now. No other president would do that, but President Trump is still cleaning it up.
No other president would create a money burn pit situation that requires this sort of cleanup. Trying to keep a massive, stagnant 6.5 million gallon outdoor concrete box clean in the middle of a humid Washington summer is the ultimate fool's errand. It is the exact political equivalent of paying a guy to rake the sorghum out of the water at a resort in Cancun. Go at the stinky seaweed until your arms fall off, but the ocean waves are going to keep it coming back. Nature does not care about the negative TripAdvisor reviews of your 5-star resort. But instead of admitting that they built a giant algae incubator, the Department of the Interior has gone full sci-fi defense mode. They put out statements claiming they're deploying high-tech ozone nanobubbler technology. Nanobubblers. It sounds like something Alex Jones would sell for weight loss.
Seriously, I'm telling you straight up, you gotta get on the nanobubblers, okay? The government doesn't want you to know this is like the whole ivermectin thing, but with weight loss, okay? It will dissect the triglycerides and it will also increase your libido. I can't stop. And just a reminder, I actually called 911 when my wife threw a bottle of shampoo at me. It is real. It happened. She beat me with finesse.
This is the same guy that shouted that the government was putting chemicals in the water that turned the friggin' frogs gay. Well, they are putting chemicals in the water, and gay or straight, no frog is gonna wanna swim in that. And since the microscopic space bubbles aren't working fast enough, the National Park Service is now frantically dumping thousands of gallons of 12% industrial strength hydrogen peroxide straight into the water. They're pouring hydrogen peroxide in the reflecting pool like the Lincoln Memorial is getting highlights before prom. It's not a monument anymore, it's a supercut sink with geese. Is this going to be the next poster for Bobby Brainworms? Him using a dead raccoon dick as a snorkel while he swims in this? I mean, he has swum in worse. Which brings us to the actual primary inhabitants of the National Mall, the birds. The government is risking internal chemical burns on protected migratory birds and creating a toxic nightmare of dying algae blooms, all because Donald Trump couldn't handle the fact that his $14 million paint job accidentally built the most expensive DIY swamp in human history. Don't forget, the same guy that orchestrated this death trap for ducks, geese, even the bald eagle, is the one who continues to use bird deaths as the reason to stop wind turbines from being built. Look, cats kill billions of birds a year, but he's not banning cats because cats don't interfere with oil donors, thankfully. Now let's be honest, the only thing with wings Donald Trump has ever really tried to protect is Epstein Air. But don't worry, because the official White House line this week, and I'm not making this up, was to brag on social media that the dead algae resting on the bottom of the pool looks just like the destroyed Iranian Navy resting on the bottom of the Persian Gulf. The whole green sludge fiasco is the ultimate visual metaphor for Donald Trump's entire approach to governance. He is utterly obsessed with superficial aesthetics, branding, and slapping his name on things while completely ignoring the actual structural reality underneath. Look at what just happened over at the Kennedy Center. His handpicked board spent a fortune trying to illegally slap his name onto a national monument, only for a federal judge to rule it was completely unlawful. So this past weekend, crews had to be hired again to erect scaffolding and manually tear the letters back down. While actual world leaders historically focused their time, energy, and national budgets on systemic improvements, passing policies to leave their country better off, Trump treats the executive branch like a commercial real estate flip. He wastes millions on superficial gold trim, custom flag blue paint, and giant exterior lettering, leaving taxpayers to foot the bill when the vanity project inevitably rots into a toxic swamp. And remember, the Drain the Swamp guy didn't drain anything. He just replaced the actual water with algae and the actual reporters with people like Kara Castronova from Lindell TV, who's now a regular face in the White House.
You probably really like Donald Trump, without the fact that besides the fact that he got the vax.
I voted
for the most
for
part.
him. at the time, he's by far the best candidate. I voted for him 6 times, 3 in the primary, 3 in the general election.
So did I. Well, let me ask you this. So if President Trump.
He's night and day better than any Democrat.
Okay,
That's
let's
not
just
even a
say,
question.
who's the
okay?
worst ever? Who's the worst Democrat you think in the world?
All of them.
Like,
How
name
much
one.
worse? The
Elon
worst?
Omar?
No, not even close. Probably the worst one and the most corrupt is Adam Schiff on the Senate side, and then Jamie Raskin on the House side.
Okay, let's just say,
those are the 2 most.
would you vote for Jamie Raskin or Adam Schiff if they were unvaccinated going up against President Trump, who was?
So Jamie Raskin is boosted. Donald Trump is also boosted. Okay, so in that situation, I vote for Donald Trump.
It is unprecedented to see an accredited member of the White House press corps, someone holding an official pass to the briefing room, look at a camera and casually drop, "Yeah, so did I," when a guest brags about voting for Trump 6 times. Kara Castronova is a 2-time Golden Gloves boxing champion, once ranked number 2 nationally by USA Boxing, and was a trainer on The Biggest Loser, which I guess makes her uniquely qualified to cover the current administration. Maybe she gets some one-on-one time with Pentagon Pete. He seems to be a lot less fit than what he projects. Look at this guy. "I make this show on my own. If you can afford it, drop me a PayPal tip or a super thanks, become a member, and check out my merch." She later shifted into right-wing activism, organizing the Justice for J6 rally in 2021 to support those arrested for the Capitol riot, and even filed a human rights complaint to the UN on their behalf. Now she's front row in the Oval Office in the briefing room, representing the Lumpy Pillow Guys media empire, and this is the level of intellectual discourse she's bringing to Washington. Did you hear the absolute mental gymnastics happening in that hypothetical question? These people are dangerous, and it's why the stupid is compounding. I'm absolutely loving the World Cup. I told my channel members earlier this week about going to the Australia versus Turkey match with Jim Jeffries. The atmosphere was a complete 10 out of 10, incredible victory, made me a fan of their team for life. Was tough to see them lose today, but the fans were savage with such chants as "Aussie boys were on a bender, Donald Trump is a sex offender." Cities are having their bars drunk dry, kids are off their tablets outside and kicking the ball around, and it's just been fascinating to watch how different political figures are handling the games. Look at Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. He was spotted in the stands at the Canada versus Qatar game, proudly wearing the team kit, completely dialed in and cheering on every microsecond of a historic match that saw 6-0, a hat trick, shutout, broken leg, 2 red cards, score on own goal, and a near post-game brawl. If you haven't seen those highlights, check it out. Contrast that with Donald Trump. He keeps trying to cultivate this high-energy, ultimate sports fan persona by showing up to UFC fights and Knicks games, only for the live cameras to repeatedly catch him slumped over asleep in his seat. The man is out here fading into a deep REM cycle while men are dunking and giving each other cauliflower ears in front of him, and his base still acts like he's the apex of vitality. Now, while Prime Minister Carney has been dialed into the games, Justin Trudeau decided to skip the Canadian opener entirely to head down to SoFi Stadium in LA to watch his girlfriend, pop star Katy Perry, who was performing during the tournament's opening ceremony. Naturally, the Maple MAGA crowd online absolutely lost their minds because Justin went to the game, and it made it even better that he ended up hanging out with Gavin Newsom. They just lost it. Oh, treason, treason. Look, as a private citizen, the man can go wherever he wants. If your girlfriend is performing at a massive stadium ahead of a major international kickoff, you go. He posted on his socials, "Sometimes supportive boyfriend duties call, but you know who I'm rooting for to take the cup." Look, if you didn't clock into that match, Katie wore a USA and Canada pin because it's not the people creating a divide. It's the diaper demented leader that posts images of Canadian currency with his face on it. This beautiful game is officially bringing out the beautiful madness. And if you're not into it, I hope you get into it because it's more fun to go all in than be a naysayer. And I'm saying this from someone who spent most of their life as the I don't watch sports guy. You'll discover your neighbors are part Kiwi, part German, Colombian. I've seen all the flags and had so many conversations with people I would have never talked to. It's fantastic. Also, happy Father's Day weekend to all the dads, stepdads, granddads, and exhausted dudes currently pretending the barbecue was a gift for them and not just another unpaid job. I would love to meet this baldy lib in parking lot. No rules. I am still deeply unsure if you're angling to fight me or sleep with me here. A parking lot with no rules can mean a lot of different things. Is your safe word Lindsey Graham? Give a dating app a go instead of leaving highly suggestive pent-up comments on a comedy show. MAGA tears. I wish you had a 1-800 number so I could tear him a new one. I'm actually hoping to set up a viewer call-in line eventually. I think it could be a lot of fun, even just for voicemails. But do you really want to tear me a new one by screaming into a cracked flip phone while you're waiting for your shift to start? Or are you just hoping to alter my back end? Are you the parking lot rules guy from earlier? You folks really love me. Honestly, instead of printing mugs and caps, maybe I should design a custom calendar or a glossy wall poster for the haters to tape to the inside of their locker at Burger King. MAGA tears. Flip, he wastes millions on superficial gold trim, custom flag boo paint. Boo paint? Boo paint. Sounds scary. Boo.
I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.